is in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Chicago Bears. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Running left, Montgomery. And he'll get this down only to the 18. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. On 2nd and goal, Fields flushed, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dante Hightower coming in for the sack from his linebacker spot. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he touchdown Bears! Tariq Cohen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Hurts. And his throw here's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Flushed out right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They forced incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They go play action with Hurts. Steps and a big loss here as he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Play action. It's Fields. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd down.
They wound up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. They snap it to Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Again, Fields. Over the middle, complete. That's Cohen. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play. Touchdown. Darnell Mooney. His 5th touchdown now on the year. As the Bears push further out in front. Now the point after try for Santos. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Bears 14, Eagles 0.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is caught. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. That last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays hot.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Dancing to his left. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
Sanders. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Quez Watkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are back within a score. Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
One play action, Fields. Eluding the pressure right. And now a fumble. The ball's out. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time. Wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Khalil Mack, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Jack Fox now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot him. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it.